So a big welcome to week 3 of Tuesday Night Heffron. We're going to wrap up week 3 and hopefully lead into week 4 with John Sunde. Big welcome, John. Week 4 is looking a bit iffy with the weather.
Well, thanks for jumping on board with us again, Crafty. Before we start getting nervous about week 4, we've still got a lot to talk about with week 3. And that we dodged a bullet there with the rain, which never eventuated. So we were very lucky.
We were lucky. And I think we were lucky because I was at Alexandria and it bucketed down, not for long, but it came down. And arriving at Heffron, the concrete was dry. However, the squircle was wet.
Let's get the bad news out of the way first. And there was a mishap in the opening laps in B grade, and unfortunately, Robbie Allen is a little bit worse for wear. But Robbie Allen's been down before, and if anyone can get back up and get back on his bike, Robbie can. So best wishes to Robbie and a shout out to your buddy. He'll quickly.
Yeah, and we'll get in Ollie Penny's video, which we'll come to shortly. You don't really see Robbie, but yeah, you'd see the aftermath, and we'll move on to that. It is a B grade win again. Week 1, B grade win. Week 2, A grade win. Week 3, B grade again. How'd they do it, John?
Well, I think that Big Ben Glastonbury and Rolando Delatz have got something going on. Because in the very first week, Ben won by relatively tight margin to Rolly. Of course, as you said, A grade in week 2, and then bingo, B grade again on Tuesday night. But this time the roles were reversed with Rolly. Daylight between him and Ben. In fact, when he crossed the line.
Yeah, you see in the across the line video that you put on Facebook, he had a good gap over Ben Glastonbury.
Oh, he certainly did. I think he's getting faster and faster. And I saw Rolly this morning. We rode together, and I congratulated him on his elevation to A grade. He wasn't so keen on that.
I don't think all of A grade are that keen on it either.
No, that's the problem. And how many times have we seen this before? Rolly wins one B grade, and then he sneaks another one, and then he goes to A grade. I think he sandbags when he goes to A grade so he can come back to B grade.
No, I don't think he does. I think he belongs in B grade.
I do.
Yeah, okay. How did B grade get to the line in front of A grade on Tuesday?
I think they had a relatively handsome margin to start with. Once again, after that rain cleared, there was no real wind. Whereas the second week, when A grade did get up, the wind was gusting at about 30 km an hour. Whereas there was hardly anything on Tuesday. It was very still again. And I think also that once B grade catch C grade with 6 to go, they just believe and they get that momentum going. And there are some big hitters in B grade, and they were driving on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and it was a big bunch. They lost a few, as we did indicate with 4. I'll put forward a theory here.
What's your theory, Crafty?
Yeah, the squircle was wet. It was wet at the start.
Damp and dirty.
Yep. Example: Greg Rule withdrew from the race. His wheels slipped out in the squircle twice, and he thought the third time's not going to end well, and he used his head and withdrew from the race. So here's the theory. And look, I could be wrong, but I think I've got something here. Is look, the A graders go through those corners at basically 46 kilometers an hour in the dry. However, they've got the same tires a C grader has. They've got basically the same bike. There is a limit to the speed that they can go through a wet corner. And that limit, let's say it's 40 kilometers an hour. So the A graders, well, look, C graders can't go through the corner at 46 in the dry because they can't get up to 46 kilometers an hour. They go through that corner at 40 kilometers an hour. Suddenly, when it's wet, the A graders have to go through at 40. They lose 6 kilometers an hour. The C graders go through at 38 kilometers an hour, and
That
they
was
don't
back up a
slip
little
out.
bit.
So they
And-
only lose 2 kilometers an hour. Now,
Yeah.
over the pan of the 15 laps, essentially, the A graders are losing per lap 4 seconds, 5 seconds because of those corners. The C graders are only losing 1 or 2 seconds.
That's right, and I do agree with you, Crafty, because if you go through any of the A graders Strava file from Tuesday night, the previous week, and in the first week also, they were consistently lapping at like 2 minutes 40 and a bit. But you would also see some frequent 2:35 and even sort of 2:30 plus laps in there. None of those 2:30, 2:35 laps on Tuesday night at all. They were just all 2:42, 2:44 lap after lap.
Fast.
So they weren't having those fast,
Yes.
faster than B grade,
Yep.
faster than C grade, but not as fast as they are capable of in perfect conditions.
Yeah, so with my theory, I think C grade were slower in the wet, but by only 1 or 2 seconds. The A grades were slower in the wet by 4 or 5 seconds per lap.
And that was and over the course of the 15 laps, or 14 laps,
massive.
That was the length of the straight that they were behind at the finish.
Yeah, so there's the theory. You can argue with it. You can say, and I could be wrong. I could be right. Good song, by the way. The Public Image Limited. Moving on, though, we're going to go to Ollie's video. So, John, we're on board.
We're on board. We've just hit the U-turn before the straight, coming down with 1 to go. Ollie is sitting on Darcy, who is sitting on Naz, who is sitting on Kurt Ether, I think, in the Oliver's kit.
Yes.
And then there's 2 in front. Here we are down
Michael
the straight.
Cupid possibly in front. Now,
Yes,
Darcy...
he swung up at the end of the lap.
I think you've been a bit mean to Darcy. I noted that you put him as a DNF. What was going on there?
Well, he didn't cross the line, but
okay. Yeah, fair enough. It is important. If you want to finish a race, you've got to cross the line, apparently. Bell lap, John.
Last lap. So there's Mike.
Is that Cupid?
Yeah. Yeah, Mick Cupid rolling back.
Is that Marcus Curley?
Marcus Curley. He was second. He was on the front, I think, across the bell with Mick on as well. So now we're in the top 4 here. Well, Ollie's 4. Ollie's fifth wheel. Bonbon just there on the right.
And Kirk just drifting back with Alex Naz. There's the first aiders. A big thank you to them. Now, John, I've got a theory here that Jack Bennett, he had 2 laps out with punctures. One, he didn't change the wheel. The second one, he did. I've got a feeling that he said to Bonello, "You're the sprinter today," and a little bit of dignity there in that he didn't want to win with 2 laps out. What do you reckon?
Possible, but let's just focus on Darcy's turn here. This was an awesome turn. Don't forget, this is Darcy's first race back, and I think almost 3 years. He hasn't been doing a lot of riding. Here we are heading over the first pimple. Has a little glance over his left shoulder. Everyone's on. He is putting in everything here. Don't forget, he's been in the top 5 coming down the straight, so that was hurting.
Incidentally, you can see the surface. The surface is drying. There's patches of wet, but right here we go. John, talk to me.
Yeah, so he has 2 glasses over his shoulder because he can hear them coming, and there goes Marcus. Has another go with Billsy on his wheel,
and then Tom Bolton.
Tom Bolton in the black.
Crito, and squeezing through.
And there's Bonbon trying to get on the inside of Crito through that left-hander by the netball courts.
Yeah.
Just coming up now.
Crito, and watch Alex Naz. Alex Naz comes in very politely. There. Now, he says hello, gives a bit of a wave. Into the corner, John.
Yep. So power down right here, and now we're lining up for the sprint. Ollie is now 6 back, a bit too far back. Naz knows that he can't let Crito get the jump on him, so starts to move up, gets caught in the wind, sits up. Just wait for the video to engage.
No, I've actually paused it. Right now, with Alex Naz there, Ollie Penny is 7th wheel. 7 wheels. As Cupid's about to come, like there's a few riders that are going to peel off. So that puts Kurt Efer no better than 8th wheel out of the corner.
And he said to me after the race, he was 8th wheel. He came from 8 back, and to use his words, it just opened up for him.
Here goes Credo.
Credo goes to the left. Bonbon's out of the saddle, not ready. But then comes Kurt, steam train, right around the outside, into the wind.
Look at the leg speed.
A long way.
Bolton is bogging down in the big gear. Efer, and on the right, just in the right-hand corner, you can see Bonello's wheel. Ollie Penny didn't give him too much room, did he, John?
No, not a lot. You'll see Bonbon's wheel just now. I think somewhere there. Yeah, it is Bonbon now. So good finish. Great last lap, great content, and just goes to show the skill, the speed, and the cornering on an awesome circuit that A-grade can produce on that last lap.
Well, John, with that, I'll throw in a few photos later on, but I guess we've got to do something like an award. What do you reckon?
I think we should have an award every week. Some weeks I think we might have more than one award, but the award for week 3, in my mind, goes to Kira Will.
Yeah, it's undoubtable. Ride of the week, Kira Will. First female, but first C grader. 9th across the line. Am I right there?
Oh, yeah. Put it all together. In fact, let's go back to the previous week when we looked at that last lap to go. Remember that Kira was in a really good position at the bell, but she lost it in the corner. So that was no fluke that she was in that spot. But her ride on Tuesday night, I thought, was really outstanding. Top 10 overall. And the reason I think it was so outstanding is I remember Kira coming down first time ever, and it was only at this time last year, I think, or it might have been earlier in the year from the previous season, in C grade, a little bit shy, hadn't raced at Heffron before, didn't do so well in the crosswind and the northeasterly, if I remember, for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. She kept on coming back. And now look at her, winning C grade and women's outright. And I might add, had some pretty good, talented female elite riders there, and Emily Watts, Nicole
national champions. Yeah. Well, in fact, Kira is a national champion, but in the under-17s, now in the under-19s. Look, fingers crossed that she keeps on improving at Heffron Park. She's already on the eyes of the selectors of the Australian team. Look, I thought we had to nominate some people for Rider of the Week, so I did jot some down. Roland Delat's obviously winning the event. Then Dave Evans finishing the event in A grade and on the tail of the sprint. I think that's worth. Marcus Curley.
Can I just add something about Dave Evans? Dave's feeling very proud of himself at the moment, because he posted yesterday on his socials that in 38 seasons of Tuesday Night Heffron, he's raced the last 21. Nice. I think that deserves a bit of a shout out.
He deserves the keys to Heffron on the 21st birthday.
The keys to the toilet block.
Yeah, there you go. Oh no, he's got his photo on the wall in there. The other rider, Marcus.
Well, his number is anyway.
Marcus did heaps of turns and is actually, for a retired rider, doing bloody good. And
he's not completely retired, I might add, because he does have a bit of a race coming up in I think 2.5 weeks, and that's the Tour of Southland and New Zealand.
Okay,
so he's pretty keen to cram. But hey, just a quick shout out talking about Marcus, his ex-teammate, Ben Dybel.
Yeah.
How's that for a couple of outstanding results in the last fortnight?
Oh, man, he smashed it. He absolutely smashed it. Was it the Tour of Thailand?
No, it was the Tour of Taiwan and the Japan Cup. And you know what the saying is, don't you, Crafty? If you win at Heffron,
you can win anywhere.
Yeah,
okay.
Bit of a shout out to Ben. He has been a familiar face over the years down at Heffron, and great to see him get that international success.
Let's get him back. Let's get him back next. He won't be back next week, but fingers crossed we'll get some more there. In the meantime, the weather, as I said, it's not looking great. But still, Buncher, if you enter on Buncher, your entries are carried forward or refunds are issued. Talk to me there.
Absolutely that. And just to reiterate again, to make sign-on a seamless, effortless procedure on a Tuesday night, please jump on Buncher and enter before Monday. If you were booking tickets to a concert, you'd be on it. You would not leave it to when you turn up at the gate at the concert.
Yeah.
But do the right thing, guys. And the 13 people that didn't, oh no, it wasn't 13, it was 11. And you know who you are.
Yeah. Out of 110 riders on Tuesday. Well, let's wrap it up, John. How do we wrap it up?
Oh, we look forward to next week, week 4. First 3 weeks under our belt. We've got to get some good weather soon, and we've got to get some northeasterly winds, and that always makes it interesting.
Double thumbs up. See you next Tuesday. Heffron
Look forward
Park.
to it, Crafty.
Got it. Cheers, mate.